YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guy. In this Sunday game on Week 16, and guys, it's time for your fantasy football playoffs. It's time to go get these dubs. It's time to go get these championships. So if you got any questions, make sure you put it in the comment section, guys, and show support by putting the 100 symbol in the comment section. Guys, let me get me a drink of coffee. What's going on, Big Will? What's going on, Castillo? I see you, Will Hayes. I see you, RG. I see you, Nigel. I see you, B Growing. Appreciate your guys being here. So, let's get to this weather, guys. Let's talk about this weather real quick. That way we can get to these questions. Also, guys, yesterday, what did y'all think about the games? How did Lamar go? Did he go well for y'all? Did he do good for you in your leagues? Likely hit. Likely was a good little sneaky start. Okay. So the first game I want to talk about, guys, is going to be the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Cleveland Browns is traveling to Cincinnati. This is a divisional game. I expect Cincinnati to go out here and win this game by 10 points or more. But the weather is going to be 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is clear, and only 3 miles per hour wind. So we're not worried about that weather. We starting our studs. Let's move on to the next game. All right, we got the New York Giants going to the Atlanta Falcons. And you know the Atlanta Falcons have a dorm, so we're not really worried about the weather. Start all your studs. I think this is an interesting game for fantasy with a lot of people that maybe we are worried about are starting in these games, and hopefully they can pull through, like Penix, also Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and also Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Trace. So we want to see what these guys can do. So start your studs in this game. Going on to the Detroit Lions and the Chicago game. This game, guys, the weather can be bad. It's up to 15 miles per hour wind, and it's 31 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be a little bit of rain. So it's going to be like freezing drizzle is what they're saying. And it's going to be at Chicago. So if you have Jared Goff, you need to be worried about that a little bit. He hasn't really had a good fantasy game and a cold weather game ever in his history of his career. So be worried about him having a good game in Chicago. So yes, Detroit going to Chicago, 31 degrees Fahrenheit with 15 miles per hour wind and slight chance of freezing, drizzle. Okay, the next game we're going to talk about is the Tennessee Titans going to the Indianapolis Colts. And you know the Indianapolis Colts have a dorm, so we're not really worried about the weather. Start your studs. This is another interesting game at the quarterback position. I believe Mason Rudolph is a sneaky start. I'm not telling you to start him over your studs, but I think he's a sneaky start. Also, I love AR. I'm starting AR over Mason Rudolph. I'm just a little bit worried about AR the way he played last week. He didn't have to play that way. All he got to do is run the ball and make a couple passes, and he's going to be a top 12 quarterback. So, but I think it had a lot to do with Jonathan Taylor, him doing that where he dropped the ball before he got to the red zone. But anyway, I like this game. This is an important game in fantasy. The big games for real life was good, but I don't want to see the fantasy games. Tennessee and Indianapolis, those are a lot of sleepers in that game. All right, let's move on. The next game we're going to go to is the Los Angeles Rams going to the New York Jets. Now, they say the weather's going to be 24 degrees Fahrenheit and 10 miles per hour wind. No precipitation, so we good with that. But I'm a little worried about Matthew Stafford. He can play in cold weather, but I'm a little worried far as his plateau. Can he hit his ceiling? Aaron Rodgers been playing in the cold his whole life, so I'm not worried about him or Devontae Adams or Garrett Wilson. I'm starting him, and I'm also starting Breach Hall. LA Rams, I'm starting everybody. I'm starting Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp. Yes, I said Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. I'm starting those guys. All right, let's move on to the next game. The next game is going to the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Washington Commanders. This is a divisional game. Philly need to be worried a little bit. Washington can come out here and win this game. They got Jaden Daniels. That mobile quarterback can put a hole in his defense. I said what I said. So the weather's going to be 29 degrees Fahrenheit, clear, 6 miles per hour wind. So just cold. It's just going to be very cold. So start your studs. Don't be scared to start your Washington studs. Don't be scared to start Terry McLaurin. Don't be scared to start Brian Robinson Jr. And you can start Jaden Daniels. I would rather go down with the ship with Jaden Daniels than sitting him and streaming a guy like Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers. I will go ahead and play Jaden Daniels. All right, let's move on. The next game is going to be the Arizona Cardinals going to the Carolina Panthers. So the weather in Carolina today is going to be 40 degrees Fahrenheit, clear, 3 miles per hour wind. Start your studs. I think James Conner is a smash play. I think Kyler Murray got a great matchup, and Marvin Harrison Jr. has a great matchup. The Carolina Panthers, I think Bryce Young is a solid guy. I'm not telling you to stream him anything, but I think he's going to go out here and be able to get the ball to Adam Thielen, also Jalen Coker, and Chuba Hubbard. So I'm starting my guys. I'm not scared of not starting any of my guys on each team. All right, moving on. To the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks game. This game is a lot of rain. Supposed to be definite rain, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 miles per hour wind. So the wind is not that bad, and the rain is not that bad, but it's going to be wet. So that's going to hurt the wide receivers, but I'm still starting DK and JSN. And Minnesota, I'm still starting Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones, and along with Sam Darnold. Be careful with Sam Darnold with the turnovers because it's going to be raining. You know he will turn the ball over, so be careful with that. And Geno Smith, I would be looking to maybe stream a quarterback over top of Geno. Not telling you to do it, but I would be looking to do that, to make that type of move this week. Okay. 99% chance of rain, too, by the way, is what they're saying. So it's definitely going to be raining in that game. They need to get a dorm. All right, going to the 4 o'clock games, we got the New England Patriots going to the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be 12 degrees. That's very, very cold. 1 miles per hour wind. Start your guys. Buffalo got it. Could be a trap game for Buffalo. New England know them. They know Josh Allen. They know how to game plan against Josh Allen. I'm not saying they're going to stop Josh Allen, but don't take New England lightly. Buffalo should win this game by more than 10 points. So start all your Buffalo guys. It's a lot of guys. Somebody's not going to hit home. That's okay. But you got to start Khalil Shakir. I ain't saying you got to start Dalton Kincaid, but Dalton Kincaid is a solid start. James Cook is a good start. You got to start James Cook. Josh Allen, you start him. And there's a few other guys on there that you might think about starting depending on what type of team you got. New England Patriots, I'm starting Drake May. I got Drake May in a dynasty league. I'm starting him. It doesn't matter to me. Ramondre and Antonio Gibson, I got those, and I'm starting both of those guys in one league together. And Hunter Henry. The other weapons, they kind of volatile. Who knows? Somebody might come home today with a big game. Who knows? All right. Let's go on to the next 4 o'clock game. This is one of my favorite games right here. It's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now listen, it's going to be 64 degrees Fahrenheit, but we don't care. The Las Vegas has a dorm, and it's Las Vegas, so it's always going to be pretty hot weather there. Start your studs. Brock Bowers with Aiden O'Connor is a good start. Jacoby Myers is a good start. But the only thing about Jacoby, he's not great against man coverage, but he's pretty good against zone. But guess what? Jacksonville runs a lot of man coverage. So I'm not telling you not to sit Jacoby Myers, but I think he's a solid start. As far as the running backs, man, I wouldn't start a running back. I think Jacksonville is a sneaky defense. Now, it could be a dogfight. It could be a 21-17 game, so I'm not telling you to stream this is the number one streaming defense, but if I wanted to stream a defense that was on the waiver wire, I would probably be the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brian Thomas is a smash play. Travis Etienne. I also like Matt Jones. Who? Matt Jones. Who? He is a sneaky play. Matt Jones is a sneaky play today. Las Vegas Raiders, only person that I probably would start would be Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. Okay. And going on to the next 4 o'clock game is going to be the San Francisco 49ers going to the Miami Dolphins. This is going to be a 74 degrees Fahrenheit game, but it's 4% chance of rain, so it might not rain there. So it's going to be pretty good weather in Florida. The only thing I would tell you is Patrick Taylor. I'm starting Patrick Taylor, but be worried about the committee and go down with the ship with the committee. If the committee comes in, do not complain. So if you don't want a committee, don't play Patrick Taylor. If you okay with whatever happens, I'm trusting the goal line touch. I'm trusting the honey touches. I'm playing Patrick Taylor. So that's the main thing that I want to tell you about that game. Going over to Miami, Malik Washington is a sneaky play today. Not telling you to go stream him, but you could because there's no Jalen Waddle. And I think it's going to be an uptick in targets for Tyreek Hill, Devon A. Chain, and Jonnu Smith. So, yeah, play your studs in these games. It's a lot of guys to play in San Francisco. I think Brock Purdy is a solid play today. I know a lot of people don't think so. Miami defense is not chopped liver, but Brock Purdy is a good play today. Jawan Jennings is a real nice play that nobody's really talking about. George Kittle is always going to be a good starting tight end. And that's about it, guys, as far as who I'm starting. Debo, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about Debo. All right, to the 8 o'clock game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. This is another dorm game. Start your studs. Mike Evans is going for 1,000 yards, so he's going to be hyper-targeted by Baker Mayfield. I'm expecting a couple turnovers by Baker. Patty cake, Baker's man. Roll around, throw him in a pan. I said what I said. So I'm expecting a lot of targets to go to Mike Evans today. That doesn't mean that I'm going to start him in every single league, in every single situation that you ask me, right? So, yes, I like Tampa Bay starts. I like Baker Mayfield as a starter. I like Mike Evans, and I like Bucky Irvin and Rashad White. Those are guys that I'm starting. For the Dallas Cowboys, Rico Dowdle, Justin Jefferson. Yes, not Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, guys. CeeDee Lamb. Yes, CeeDee Lamb. So I'm starting CeeDee Lamb. I'm starting Cooper Rush and Rico Dowdle. Cooper Rush is more of a streamable guy, but he's been being solid. He's been solid. That's about it for this game. And I got a super chat from Rashik Barron. What's up, Rashik? He says, will Rico get game scripted out Shakir or Thielen? No, Rico Dowdle, that's who you talking about? Rico Dowdle should not be scripted out, man. He's going to have a nice little game plan today. Nice little script. He should be good, Rico Dowdle. And scripted out. Shakir or Thielen, I'm going with Shakir over Thielen. You got to play Shakir. Shakir is a top 12 wide receiver. You got to play Shakir. Yeah, I get it. Mike Evans, yes, he is, but he's not washed, Anthony. I'm not drafting him on any more of my fantasy teams at his age. That 4 weeks that he missed helped him out tremendously. So I get what you're saying. But going to the next game is going to be the New Orleans Saints going to the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be cold in Green Bay, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 3 miles per hour wind. New Orleans, I'm not starting nobody other than Kendra Miller. That's it. Nobody else. Green Bay, I'm starting all the guys. And what I mean is Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, Romeo Dobbs, and you can start Jaden Reed too if you wanted to. But you got to know what those receivers are. They very volatile. So if you play them, you got to have your expectations right. That's what fantasy football is about, having your expectations right. A lot of you, and I don't mean just you guys, because a lot of you follow me, y'all already know how I beat to my own drum. But a lot of you wait for the points and you get upset. And then we all gonna be mad if we don't win. But don't be, I shoulda, coulda. You got to make the decision now to get all them shoulda, couldas out of that. I don't play shoulda, couldas. Even in life, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I learn from it. I chastise myself and I move on. I'm not gonna sit here and say, man, I should have done this. Yeah, I should have done it after something happened. Like, you gonna say that. So go down with the ship. Make your decisions and go down with the ship. And that's all for today. And let's see if there's any injuries, guys. I want to go through these injuries before I get to everybody's question. Appreciate everybody being here. I see you, Thomas. I see you, Siobhan. Harambe in the building. No, Evans Harambe, he's not washed for fantasy, but he's at the position where I wouldn't draft him on my team. Kind of like Devontae Adams. I know Devontae can play, but I'm going to draft Brian Thomas Jr. over him. I'm going to draft younger receivers on my team. Now, if Mike Evans fall, I'm picking him up quick. But I can't draft him at his ADP of what he's been drafted in. You know, Mike Evans is a second-round guy his whole career, going into the second, maybe early third. Now I'm more of a fifth-round guy. That's what I mean. So he's not washed. The guy can put up 40 points any week. But for him to be healthy and no hamstring injuries all year, it's not really going to come. So you got to be ready for that volatileness. That's the only thing I would say about that. But Zach Ertz, guys, is good to go today. He's good to go today. He's getting up. He want that bonus. He got a bonus that he can hit. So he's playing today. Let's see. Braylon Allen from the Jets is in line to play. I'm not telling you the starter, but he's in line to play. Tyrone Tracy from the Giants is expected to go. I think that's a sneaky flex play today with all the pass catching ability that he has. Tony Pollard is trending towards playing. I still think Tajay Spears is a sneaky play. I still think Tajay Spears is a sneaky play, and you can start him as a flex play. Tyreek Hill likely to play today. Pat Fryer, I'm sorry, that's old news. Let's see here. I don't want to talk about the old news. I want to talk about the new stuff. Jari Alexander questioning for Monday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers corner. Let's see here. Tank Dell dislocates kneecap Saturday. That was a terrible injury, man. I feel bad for Tank. Tank had 2 injuries that kind of messed up his career. Like if Tank wouldn't have had an injury last year, he would have been like a top 7 wide receiver. This year, this was the first game that he got going, and he got an injury by a guy that was running the wrong route on his own team. Let's see here. I think that's all the news that we need, guys. Okay, MVS is questionable to play tomorrow. MVS might not play for the New Orleans Saints. Chris Olave won't return this week either. Spencer Rattler is the official starter. Let's see here. Kirk Cousins is expected to be cut in the offseason. Wow. Y'all paid this man $70 million to be a bridge quarterback? Why didn't you go get a lot cheaper quarterback and then you're going to draft Michael Penix? It don't make sense. Like, you got $70 million to throw away? Damn. Let's see here. Okay, guys, that's about it. Let's get to these. If y'all got any questions about injury, just let me know and I'll put it into the search bar and we'll look that player up and see what's going on. All right. So let me get here real quick. Yes, sir. Let's get the likes up. Okay. B. Growing says, yo, what up, TD? I only got one question. Jordan Love or Goff? Jordan Love or Goff? That's a tough one, bruh. Let me see here. Man, I'm going to go with Jordan Love. Now, listen, man, I want to say Goff, but I'm going to go with Jordan Love, man, because the weather makes me nervous. Why do all of a sudden what I think that Jared Goff can come out here and play in a cold weather game and ball out? I believe he can, but I'm trying to make $1 million decision for you. I'm not going to sit here and play games and just say, oh, play golf. I want to actually make a real concise decision. I would go with Jordan Love, man, because he plays in Green Bay. The matchup is gravy for Green Bay. Let me see here. Yeah, the matchup is gravy for Green Bay. So, I'm going with Jordan Love against the sorry Saints. I'm going with Jordan Love. Bears have a great passing defense. I believe that Jared Goff can get 2 touchdowns, but he might not in the cold weather. So I'm going with Jordan Love. Either way, if you play Jared Goff, I wouldn't be mad at you. I don't think it would be a bad decision. All right. Wesley Mendez, what's up, bruh? Nigel said, what's up, bruh? RG says, what up, TD? Got 3 questions. Purdy or Murray? I'm going with Kyler Murray going against the Carolina Panthers. I think you got to go down with the ship with Murray with the great matchup. RG says, Tyreek or J-Mo? Reek kind of makes me nervous. He does. He makes me nervous too. But I'm going with Tyreek, especially with Water out. I wouldn't try to sit Tyreek because if Tyreek goes off, you're going to feel sick. So I will go with Tyreek. Nigel says, question, 6-point TD. Love or Penix? I would go with I'm going with Jordan Love over Michael Penix. I don't think it's a time to get super cute in the fantasy football playoffs. We know what Jordan Love can do. Now, you might say, well, this is going to be a Josh Jacobs game. Well, that's what the defense think, too. So, guess what? What about the play action and throw it to a tight end for the touchdown? Right? You see how Derrick Henry was eating, but Lamar passed the ball to get it in the red zone. And that's what I'm hoping for, and I would say praying for. So, yes, man, I would go with Love over Penix. Also, flex 1. Tyreek, Swift, Patrick, Taylor, thanks. Man, I got to go with Tyreek. Man. Tua's healthy. They in Miami. If it was a cold weather game, I was like, yeah, man, you got to sit Tyreek. I'm going with Tyreek, man, over Swift, Patrick, Taylor. Appreciate you, Nigel. RG says, I'm sorry, I got a super chat in the house. Appreciate it, bruh. He says, do you like my lineup for semifinals? Allen, St. Brown, Shakir, James Cook, Chase Brown, Kittle, Rico. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, Allen, you know what he is. St. Brown got a great matchup with David Montgomery being out. Shakir is the PPR monster. James Cook is a boom running back that's playing with Josh Allen, who defense is not really preparing for. They're preparing for Josh Allen. Chase Brown is a monster. He's a top 5 running back. And George Kittle is George Kittle. I don't got to say he's a Hall of Famer. And Rico Dowdle is got the sauce right now. So I love your lineup, bro. That's an A lineup. Great job. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Got another super chat from Mike Shamhart. Appreciate that, Mike. Always showing support. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Okay. Will Hayes. What's up, Will? He says, who should I start in my flex spot? DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Kendre Miller, or Patrick Taylor? That's a great question. I'm going with Patrick Taylor. Let me tell you why. DJ Moore is a superior wide receiver who can play. And I'm saying superior like he's a number 1 wide receiver. But I can't trust Caleb. Caleb is holding on to the ball too long. He doesn't look good, and then all of a sudden he get hot for 5 minutes. I can't play a guy who I'm looking to get hot for 5 minutes. Pause. I need a guy who's going to at least be hot for a half or 2 to 3 quarters. You can't be hot for 7 minutes and get 2 touchdowns and think I'm gonna trust you in the fantasy football semifinals. So I like DJ Moore. I like the way they're using him. They're using him like Debo for once, like they always should have been using DJ Moore. But I can't trust it. Amari Cooper got a 0 last week. I don't know what's going on with Amari Cooper. I think they're saving him for the real playoffs, not the fantasy football playoffs. So no Amari Cooper. Kendre Miller is gonna get the value. He's gonna get 20 touches. But what he's gonna do with the 20 touches when the Green Bay Packers is only allowing 3.5 yards a carry in the last 2 months. So that makes me nervous with Kendre. So the guy who's got supporting cast to help him score to get off so he can get the honey touches and fall into the red zone once or twice and catch some passes, it's going to be Patrick Taylor playing for the San Francisco 49ers, who has the best run game in 5 years. They've been killing it, the run game. Also, Patrick Taylor is also a third down running back who catches passes too. So he's going to catch a few passes. So I'm going with Patrick Taylor over those guys. I say Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. What's up, bruh? Big Will says, no need to be scared now. Let's ball, right? Facts. Martin Castillo says, good morning, bruh. Appreciate the super chat too, bruh, earlier. Jaden Daniels, he says Jaden Daniels or Stafford. Guys, you know what? I know I was telling you, some of you, to play Stafford over Jaden Daniels. I'm not going to do that. I've been doing some reconnaissance. I think you got to go with Jaden Daniels with that rushing upside. The rushing upside is very, very safe. The rushing upside is very, very safe. So, yeah, I would go with Jaden Daniels over Matthew Stafford. But if you wanted to stream Matthew Stafford, I think that's a good streamable guy that you can sit Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would say Jaden Daniels. And he says, I need a flex. Tony Pollard, McMillan, Kendre Miller, or Patrick Taylor Jr. I'm going with Patrick Taylor Jr. over McMillan. Kendre Miller is a volume. If you want 20 touches, you can get that. That's Kendre Miller. 20 touches, maybe more. I don't know what he's going to do with it. He's the only guy out there. McMillan has been balling, playing second fiddle to Mike Evans, getting single coverage. People let him get by and running wide open. He's been killing it that way. So that's why I was considering him. Tony Pollard has been hurt. He hasn't practiced. And Tajay Spears is getting more opportunities. So I'm going to go with Patrick Taylor Jr. over McMillan. Mark says, TD, YouTube, standard flex, pick one. Kendre Miller, ETN, Bigsby, Tracy Jr. Okay, it's standard. So it looks like it's going to be Kendre Miller with all the volume that he's getting. ETN, man, is more of a PPR guy, but I think he can score before Kendre can. Bigsby is a standard guy, but he's playing behind ETN. So if you can't play both of them, why would you play one? Because you might pick the wrong one. Tracy Jr. is going to get some rushes, and he's going to catch passes. So I think you got to choose between Kendre Miller and Tracy Jr. Devin Singletary could come down there and take a touchdown from Tracy Jr., so that makes me want to go with Kendre Miller slightly over Tracy Jr. So I would go with Kendre in standard. If it was full PPR, I would tell you Travis Etienne. Harambe said, what's up, TD? I did it. I benched Najee. Need Miller to have the game of his life. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good job, bruh. Will Hayes says, also, who should I start in my tight end spot? Dalton Kincaid or Hunter Henry? I'm going with Hunter Henry, man. I think they need to target Hunter Henry more than Josh Allen needs to target Kincaid. Josh Allen got a lot of guys that he can target. They don't need Kincaid. I mean, he's good. He's gonna get some targets, but they don't need him. They need Hunter Henry. Even if he don't get the work, they look. That's his first read. That's the quarterback's first read. It's Hunter Henry. So Drake May usually hyper targets Hunter Henry on a weekly basis. Thomas says, I'm in Washington, super cold, no rain yet, but it's definitely coming. Wow. Enjoy the game, bruh. Enjoy the game. RG says, would you play AR over golf? Probably. Golf is going to have to shock the world, bro. He's going to go out here and have to beat the Chicago Bears in bad weather. If he can do that and have 2 to 3 touchdowns, he's going to shock us. We can't talk about bad weather with him anymore. But I can't sit there and project him to be great in bad weather. So I'm going to go with AR over golf. I like golf. I can't play. It's bad weather. And it's cold. Now, if the weather change, we can put golf in there. Got a new member in the house. Jaden Lamb. Appreciate that, bruh. Yes, sir. And Elgin Walker's with the super chat. He says, pick 2. James Cook, Bucky Irvin, Kyron Williams, PPR. I'm going with Kyron Williams and Bucky Irvin. I love James Cook, man. I think you should be able to get him in your lineup, but if you can't, that's fine. But I'm going with Bucky Irvin and Kyron Williams. Bucky Irvin and Kyron Williams. Appreciate the super chat, bruh. C.A. Jefferson. Jerry says, hey, y'all. But C.A. Jefferson says, for the flex start, Tracy or Christian Watson. In full PPR, I would go with Christian Watson. Tracy's going to catch some passes, bruh. But I think Christian Watson gives you a little bit more boom. So the safe play would be Tyrone Tracy. That his least can get you 5 to 10 points at a floor. But the volatile play would be Christian Watson, where he can get you 25 or 30, or he can get you 5. So I would go with Christian Watson for a little bit more upside. But if I was just trying to be safe to make sure I get the win, I would go with Tracy. Nice Toke says, this water, let me see. Let me get some of this out of here, guys. All right, there we go. Got another super chat from Harambe. He says, happy birthday weekend, TD. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bruh. Yes, sir. Jerry says, tight end to start Henry or Pitts, then Thielen or B-Rob, PPR. Tight end to start. I would go with Hunter Henry over Pitts. And between Thielen and B-Rob, I'm going with B-Rob over Thielen. I'm starting B-Rob today. You got to start him. I know the matchup is bad, but you got to start Brian Robinson. C.A. Jefferson says, Tracy banged up with that ankle. He is. But he's playing, and he's a safe PPR guy. And he's also going to get some rushes, too. C.A. Jefferson said, Jake Ferguson or Britton Strange. I'm going with Britton Strange. Jake Ferguson hasn't been good with Cooper Rush. Thomas says, PPR Flex 1 need at least a floor. McMillan, Coca, C-Watt. I like Coca a lot. I don't know who to trust. If you like, bro, you just said it. Trust your gut. That's one thing I always tell you, Thomas. Bro, I think you overanalyze stuff sometimes too much. You know fantasy football. I think you know it just as much as I know fantasy football. If you like Coca, bro, don't be scared to go with it. Go down with your ship. Don't look for somebody else to give you something. Say, well, I knew I should have did this because they told me this. Go down with your ship. You just told me you like Coker. I play Coker, but the safe play would be McMillan. That's just me giving you a safe play to make sure you get some points. It would be McMillan over Coker and Watson. But if you feeling Coker, bro, I think it's a good play. I don't think it's crazy. If I thought it was crazy, I would tell you. He says, I think the Cowboys-Bucks game is one of the highest implied team totals of the week. Right. So I like McMillan for the safe play, but I respect your Coca play. I think that's a cutting edge play. I think that could hit. Thomas says also, yes, Otten is out. Otten is out today. Tron says, my opponent had Mixon, so good start. Right. Also, I told y'all about Mixon, and that's a good start. If you played your stud, but it was just a bad matchup for him, and there's been some bad matchups for him lately. So it's a couple of tough decisions that we're gonna have to make for some studs that you might have to sit them. A couple. He says Njoku or Strange. I'm going with Strange. I can't play nobody with a hamstring injury with DTR being the quarterback. Guys, I've been drinking my mud coffee. This is that new mud coffee. Well, it ain't new, but it's in the algorithm. A lot of people are going to the mud coffee. Aaron Holloway says, good morning, TD. Who would you start at the RB2? Swift, Patrick Taylor, or Kenneth Walker? I'm going with Patrick Taylor. But you got to know what that is. That comes with a committee. So if you don't, I hope that it ain't a crazy committee, but I think he's going to be the one to get the goal line touches. I don't think it's going to be Israel Abendakanda or anybody like that. So I would go with Patrick Taylor for the RB2 spot. Swift is sneaky too. I like Swift too. But I don't want to trust him in the semifinals. Zach Miles, what's up, bro? He says, Cup, Romo, or Chuba need one. I think you got to go with Chuba as the running back. You always play the running back when it's close. Cooper Kupp is good, but he's no longer that top superior, top 5 wide receiver. So guys like Chuba, who's getting 20 touches a game, can be played over Cooper Kupp. So I would play Chuba over Cooper Kupp and Romo. Thomas says Washington don't need a dorm. I was fortunate enough to see a few games in the old King dorm. That was dope, but the new stadium is the 12s. Okay. I respect that, bruh. Natalie says, hey, Natalie, how you doing? Mr. Sleeper. Hold on, let me see here. What's up, bruh? He says, good morning, TD. Thielen or Ford in the flex spot in full PPR? I'm going with Thielen in full PPR. I'm going with Thielen. Anthony says, Mike Evans is washed. I get what you're saying. I don't think he's washed, but I'm not drafting him in my fantasy leagues unless he falls to me. Thomas says, Baker, moneymaker, feed McMillan. Siobhan says, hey, TD, good morning. Good morning, Siobhan. Thomas says, Evans washed. Okay. Thomas says, about to hit 1,000 yards for the 11th straight year, but he's washed. Now, we're not saying this washed. We're talking about ceiling. Like, are you going to you telling me you drafting Mike Evans over Brian Thomas Jr.? It's a couple other wide receivers. Are you drafting him? So he's still a good wide receiver, but him and Devontae they older, so they're going to fall down a couple rounds, even though they can still be top 5. You're not going to draft them in the first round or the second round no more. That's the only thing I'm saying. He's not washed as a player. He's a Hall of Famer. Thomas said he's getting older. Yeah, right. Siobhan says thoughts on Dobbs and McMillan. I like McMillan over Dobbs. Cat for Life says, good morning, beautiful people. Stevenson or Ford? I'm going with Ford slightly over Stevenson because I think he catches more passes than Stevenson do. Siobhan says, who do you have in your lineup today? Monday. Who do I have in my lineup? I don't know what you mean for Monday. Let me see. In my lineup, so I don't got any Kendre Miller stocks. I don't believe, but he would be a guy that could be in my lineup. And Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs, and Jordan Love. Those are the guys that's in my lineups for Monday. Charlie says, hey, man, start 3. Kendre Miller, Tracy, Etienne, and Dobbs. Thanks, bruh. Start 3, it would be Etienne, Kendre Miller, and Dobbs over Tracy. And you're going to have to make this decision between Dobbs and Tracy. I think Dobbs got more boom than Tracy this week because of what Devin Singletary's been doing. So that's the reason why I went to Dobbs. But Tracy might be probably could be more safer than Tracy could be more safer than Dobbs because he's going to get at least 10 touches today. Dobbs might not touch the ball about 4 or 5 times. But he has more upside because he can catch a 50-yard touchdown. Rashik says, if the Bucks get up, hope Dallas stick to the run. He can catch some passes too, man. He can catch some passes. Thomas says, take a minute for prayers up for Tank Dell, please. Right. Man, so unfortunate. Drafted him in Dynasty last year. That's my guy. I know, man. But that's how fantasy football is. Siobhan says, what's your Harambe? What's up, Harambe and Thomas? Harambe says, I ain't drafting Evans next year, no way. I mean, like, you have to start him tonight. Right, you do. Facts. A-Gang Grizzle says, who do you like more out of Penix, Stafford, and Richardson this week? I like Stafford to throw the ball around a little bit. Between out of Penix and Richardson. Stafford and Richardson basically are tomato. But I don't think, I know Stafford ain't going to go out here and lay no egg. because he can get the ball downfield. He's very accurate. So I know he ain't going to lay an egg. He might not hit a ceiling. Anthony Richardson, man, can go out here, man, and score the first touchdown on a 60-yard run, and he might not complete another pass. And that makes me a little bit nervous. That's why I haven't been pushing him as much as I did a couple weeks ago, even though he's still a good start. But Stafford, to me, is the safest with the boomers. He's safe, but he also can boom. So I like Stafford a little bit over Richardson. Harami says, "What's up, Siobhan?" KO says Patrick Taylor over Rashad White. Going against the Dallas Cowboys, bruh. I would say Rashad White slightly a little bit over Patrick Taylor because Rashad White and Bucky Irvin has been a great tandem all year long. I'm willing to trust a backup running back or a split carry running back over a guy who could be in a committee that we don't know what's going to happen, but we know he's going to get some opportunities. But Rashad White has been getting green zone opportunities the whole year. So I'm going to go with Rashad White slightly over Patrick Taylor. I think Patrick Taylor has more chance to boom, though. I think Patrick Taylor could have 2 rushing touchdowns. But Rashad White has been doing it, so I got to give him his respect today. That's a great question. Adam says Falcons expect to cut Kirk Cousins before the $10 million bonus is due. Right. But they still got to pay him some money that he got left over. So I thought that was crazy. Rashad White or Dobbs in the flex? I would go with Rashad White over Dobbs. Siobhan says risky moves, high upside. Ain't gonna lie, I'm nervous but excited too. Right? Facts. Got another super chat from Chris Vila. Appreciate you, bro. He says Dowdle, Tracy, Debo, Down, Strange, Bigsby, Douglas need one. Dowdle all day, bruh. Yep, I would play Dowdle over all those guys. Thomas said, yeah, Cousins getting cut. Facts. I hate when it does this. When it skips. All right, guys. Siobhan praying for Tank. Yes, that was crazy. Yep. I see you, Willie Thomas. Thomas said, did you say K out now? Yes, he is. Thomas says, I heard Jameis Winston moved to the 3rd string quarterback behind Zappy. Right. That's why I'm not playing no Cleveland Browns today. Yes. Siobhan says Cousins ages to the Hall of Fame. Right. He didn't kill it. He killed it with Cousins' career. Kirk Cousins done made more money than any NFL quarterback right now that's in the NFL. I think Cousins done made like $350 million. Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Rami says morons with money. Cat for Life said that's a great point. Atlanta and the Giants both got rid of their quarterbacks after paying them. Tells me that Miami can do the same thing if they stop being hard-headed. Facts. So you said that's a great point. Atlanta and the Giants both got, but the Eagles did it with Carson Wentz. But that's not a lot of money. When you got to eat like $15-20 million, that's not a lot of money. The Giants didn't have to eat that much money. They got what they wanted out of Daniel Jones. They cut him at the right time. That way they didn't have to pay him. I think they might have had to pay him like $10 million or something. So that's a little bit different. Kirk Cousins getting like 50 to 70. Same thing that Russell. When you paying guys $70 million and they not on your team, that's bad. Now you paying them like 10 or 15 million like they had to pay Stephon Diggs to move on. That's fine. I get that. But not no damn $70 million. $70 million is still $70 million. It's not $10 million. Great point, Count for Life. Ethan, what's up, young stud? He says, I have to start 3 out of 4 out of Juwan Jennings, Devontae Malik, and Tyreek Hill. I also don't know about Tyreek injury, though. Tyreek is active. Woo! I guess I would say Juwan Jennings, but I don't feel great about it. All those guys are stars, man. But to me, the lesser of all those superstars would be Juwan Jennings. The rest of those guys, like Devontae Adams and Tyreek, are Hall of Famers, and they're gonna get hyper targeted today because of whatever the circumstances is. Malik Neighbors, garbage time. He gonna eat in garbage time. Juwan Jennings, it's a lot of mouths to feed. You got Patrick Taylor, you got Israel Abenda-Kanda, you got George Kittle, you got Debo. You got Ricky Pearsall coming in here and there. It's just a lot of guys. But I do believe Juwan Jennings is the number one receiving threat on that team outside the tight end position, right? Tight ends are different from wide receivers. But he ain't Devontae Adams. Not today. Malik Neighbors, garbage time. And Tyreek Hill, the whole game. I expect him to catch 7 to 8 passes for 70 to 80 yards. Great question, though, bro, Ethan. That's a tough decision. Got another super chat from the one and only Chris Vila. He said 30 degrees in Chicago town, enough to go fade golf. I think so, bruh. I think so. I hate to say that. I hate to say it. I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. But if I got a better option, I would go. Now, if I don't got no other better option, I'm not going to get no Mason Rudolph and stream him over Jared Goff. But if I got AR or Matthew Stafford, I probably would play those guys over Goff. Thomas says, Cousins to San Francisco. Laugh out loud. I heard Cousins is Shanahan's favorite quarterback ever. And he could be great there. That's why all of y'all talking about Brock Purdy going to get this major deal. I think he might get a deal, but it ain't going to be no crazy deal. It's not going to be like it might be a 1 year, 2 year front loaded deal, but it's not going to be the Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert type deal. It's going to be more of the Kirk Cousins type deal. Kirk Cousins deal was good for him, but it wasn't like a big time deal. It was just like $140 million on it, $120 million guaranteed. Maybe a little bit less than that. KO says Anthony Richardson or Goff. I'm going with AR. C.A. Jefferson says Debo, Rashad White, or Addison. I'm going with Addison over Rashad White and Debo. But pay attention to the weather. If the weather's bad in the Minnesota game, then I would go with Rashad White. Willie Thomas says Ramondre Stevenson or Rashad White. I'm going with Rashad White. Really, y'all ain't gonna let me click down. Get the hell out of here, YouTube. Let me click down. This shit is acting funny, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try to find it on my phone. Okay. All right. Let me move up a little bit. Okay. Harami says Pollard or Judy. Pollard playing. I'm going with Pollard over Judy. I can't play no Cleveland Browns today. That's a great one, Love and Life. That's a good one. I never thought of it that way. You could be right. Adam Field says, with the Rodgers, Devontae Adams connection looking as good as it has all year, it's a good week to stream Rodgers. Yes, and I said Rodgers was a streamer for the rest of the year. So I don't want to go and start patting my back now, but I told y'all last week that Rodgers to play him. Nobody else really said it in the fantasy football community the way I said it. I was like, this guy's going to be optimal. I still think he's optimal. He still is a good stream this week, especially Devontae Adams. Sports Dog says TD 100 missed a few days. Computer went down. Just got back online. It's all good, bruh. Back online. Lineup is all set. Let's win. Yes, sir. Thomas says St. Brown has a tough matchup versus the Bears. He does. But the better the matchup, the better St. Brown plays, because when they have to face tough teams, they have to pass the ball a little bit more. Thomas says, I'm facing him, hoping he don't do anything. I get it. CHB in the building. What's up, bro? He says, what up, bro? Championship season. Let's go. Yes, sir. He said, who would you like today? Christian Watson or Debo? I would go with Christian Watson. Adam says, temper your expectation for McLaurin in a rematch with Philly. Yes, but I'm going down with that ship. I'm playing Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels. I think this is not going to be an easy game for Philly. This is a divisional game. Yankee says, TD, concerned about GW today? I love Garrett Wilson today with Aaron Rodgers. As I need a boom to beat my opponent. You got the guy. I have Tracy, DJ Moore, Thielen, McMillan, Spears, or Ford in my flex. I can also pick up Taylor and start him instead of G-Dub. Are you talking about Jonathan Taylor? If it's Jonathan Taylor, you better pick him up right now. Get off the live and go get him, bro. Let me know. I'm looking at the bottom of the chat right now. If that Jonathan Taylor, yes, play Jonathan Taylor over all those guys. Now, G-Dub is going to be a top 20 wide receiver. That's my floor for him this week. I think you got to get him in your lineup, but not over Jonathan Taylor. Bro, don't worry about what happened last week. Don't worry about what happened last week. Okay, it's P. Taylor. Okay. Thank you, Yankee. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I would go with G-Dub. I go with G-Dub, man, for the boom. I love that you said that. That lets me where Taylor is safe and also McMillan is safe. So I like McMillan, Taylor, and Thielen. But I like GW over all those guys, over all three. Right. I see that, Chief. Bro, you had to play Pacheco. Kareem Hunt got his touchdown. Kareem Hunt outperformed him. Now he made it a committee. But you had to start Pacheco. It was a game for Pacheco. He just didn't get the touchdowns. I thought Pacheco was a good start. Yeah, Nico, bro, it was a good start. That's all you could do, bro. Say you done with Pacheco. I feel you. I didn't draft him a lot. I didn't draft him a lot either. Yeah, you got to go with Mike Evans today. He's killing it. Thomas says, okay, he's talking to Adam. Mike says, G, you helped me this year on Ric Flair. Woo! To be the man, you got to beat the man, right? G, you helped me this year on Ric Flair. Woo! To be the man, you got to beat the man. Yes, sir. Thomas says, JD5. Yes, sir. JC, what's up, JC? He says, boom, my bruh, doing it big. I'm trying to a little bit, bruh. JC, guys, that's my friend. We've been friends for about 4 or 5 years. We started off doing videos together with a colleague. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, JC. Use a nerd. What's up, bruh? He says, Golf or Donald. I'm going with Sam Darnold. But listen, to me, you got to play who has the best weather. If Golf got the best weather, play Golf. If Donald got the best weather, play Donald. It's who got the best weather. I'm worried about weather for both of them. It's going to be raining for Sam Darnold. And he's a turnover. He's prone. Golf is not turnover prone, but he just don't play well. So I think Donald got more upside, but Golf is a little bit safer if the weather is not as bad. So it's all about the weather between these two guys. I don't want to get fruit salad this, but it's all about the weather. Robert says, they gon' learn today. Let's get these dubs, people. Yes, sir. Mike says, G, you like Smith and Jigba or Devontae Adams? I like Devontae Adams. Let me look at this weather. I'm getting a little confused. Let me see what the weather was for Minnesota. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be telling y'all some bullshit. Yeah. That's a 99% rain game in Minnesota and Seattle. Mike Shamhart says, you like the Colts defense or Cincinnati as a streaming D this week? I like the Cincinnati. That's a good streaming defense. Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati. Adam says, since make sure. Adam says, since returning from injury, Isaiah Pacheco has not been a strong fantasy option. No, but that doesn't mean that you can't start him when he's clearly the starting running back. It just Kareem Hunt outperformed him yesterday. So if I've drafted Isaiah Pacheco, I'm playing Isaiah Pacheco. But the reason why I don't draft certain guys is that way when stuff like this happen, I'm okay with it. So if Tyreek Hill doesn't play good today, I'm okay with that. I don't want to be playing no Tyler Lockett and he go out there and play bad. I don't want to go down that way. So going down with Isaiah Pacheco in your lineup, if you drafted him, why did you have him on your team if you are upset about that? And I'm not saying you are upset about it, Adam, but I'm just giving you context of how you should make your mind up about your players. Bro, all my players, if they play bad today, I don't care. I love them. I love Brian Robinson. I'm playing him today. If he has a bad game, I'm okay with it. But if I go stream somebody, like I bench Brian Robinson for Patrick Taylor, and Patrick Taylor goes out and has a bad game, and Brian Robinson has a good game, I'm never going to forgive it. I'm never going to be able to forgive myself. So I believe with you drafting Isaiah Pacheco and you waiting this long to have him on your team, you got to play him. If you don't play him now, then when you going to play him? That's why some guys don't draft him if you going to play matchups with him. The guys that I draft, I don't play matchups with them. Now, guys do evolve into being not a matchup guy, but that's just how I see Isaiah Pacheco. And this is what I was talking about early in the year about drafting Isaiah Pacheco. You got to be okay with going down with the ship if you're going to draft him early in the first 2 to 3 rounds. Travis Looney said, what up, bro? It's your birthday. Yes, sir. The official day is tomorrow, but I've been celebrating this whole weekend as my birthday. Yes, sir. Anthony says Ridley or McLaurin. I'm going with McLaurin. Aziz, what's up, bro? Long time no see. He says, TD, bro, going down with my Brian Thomas Jr. ship. Yes, sir. Starting him over A.J. Brown and had to fit him in somehow, like you said. I love that. I love that. Not that you're sitting A.J. Brown. I like that you are committed to what you're doing and you believe in it and you don't care what happens after that. You have to be that way. Because if you follow to every little bad pass, or you're going to be, don't be like, he about to boom. Watch this pass right here. And that's what Brian Thomas is. That's why I told people he's knocking on the door. He's up there with A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Tyreek Hill. Brian Thomas Jr. is on that. He's on that level. And that's one of my best calls this year. I was on Brian Thomas Jr. soon as the season ended for college. I said, this dude is the best wide receiver. Now, I saw Malik Neighbors. I know what Marvin Harrison was. But I like Brian Thomas Jr. I like his athletic ability. Sport Dog says, TD 18 PPR Superflex. I have 2 Superflex spots. DJ Moore, Addison, Brian Robinson, Judy, McLaurin, and Charbonnet. What works for you? So you said you have 2 Superflex spots. So it would be, I like Addison. No, actually, let me take Addison back. Because the weather is going to matter here with all these guys. I'm going to go with Brian Robinson and McLaurin. Brian Robinson and McLaurin are the 2 best guys out of the guys that you're showing me right here. Brian Robinson and McLaurin. Adam says Stafford also has some QB1 potential in 12-plus team leagues. QB1 potential? I hate to say it. You know, you're talking to me, and you know I'm crazy, Adam. Potential? He top 5. He's throwing it to Puka Nacua, who he's in that. I'm telling you, it's a new. Listen, the boys got to open up that door. They in that house by themselves and got the doors locked. And Puka and Brian Robinson and Brian Thomas Jr. is like, listen, I'm nice too. I'm nice too. So I actually think Matthew Stafford could be top 5 this week against the Jets. That could be a shootout. He said the Eagles defense is legit, and that's not great news for Jaden Daniels' fantasy value today. Right, but guess what? They still can be had. Jaden Daniels is a running quarterback who is no longer a rookie. He's seen a lot of different defenses. He's weathered the storm. Now he's a He's a second-year quarterback. He went where he was up. Nobody knew how to game plan him. And then he went from the second half where people started game planning, and he came out of that, had some big-time wins, and now he's a veteran. So, Eagles, you better change it up. You might not do the same thing you did last time. So, for fantasy purposes, I think he could have 2 touchdowns, 200-plus yards. I think he could be a top 12 quarterback this week. I don't want just to tell people to sit him. I'm just there. Says, does the mud coffee have a different feel? Yes, bro. So I focus. Like I'm not jittery. Sometimes I be jittery. I drink coffee in the mornings. And sometimes I be jittery and stuff, and I don't really feel that great, even though I'm energetic. But this mud coffee, it gives me clarity. Like I wake up in the morning, I can focus on what I need to focus on very quickly. As soon as I start drinking it helps me focus. And it's also my body stays in hyperdrive where I am sweating a little bit more, but my body is perspiring out the bad stuff. My body's sweating out the bad things. And a lot of times what happens to us, we don't sweat out the bad things. So this mud coffee is great, man. I'm stuck on it. I'm gonna be on it for a while. It's expensive, but I'm gonna be on it for a while. Robert Pearson with the super chat. He says, I have Tyreek Hill and A-Chain going against Bucky and McMillan. Should I start Tua or Baker? Bruh, let me tell you, I'm a bad person to ask this Robert about the Tua, because I want to say Tua, bruh, but I got burned last week when he had that terrible game. Did I expect him to go out and throw for 400 yards? No, but I didn't expect him to go and have the game that he had. So I'm sorry, guys. I just got a text message, but I'm gonna go with Baker. But my heart, my instinct is telling me Tua, but I gotta go. I gotta be intellectual. You paying for this? What you getting? So I don't care about what I feel or what my gut says. This is not my team. It's your team. So I'm gonna give you professional advice. Baker. The Cowboys, that Michael Parsons might not play. They got some second string corners out there who they are decent, but they ain't Trayvon Diggs. So I'm gonna go with Baker, especially with him hyper targeting Mike Evans this week. I think that's gonna be good for Baker. So I will go with Baker, man, this week. Hopefully that helps you out, bruh. Appreciate the super chat, Robert. Mike says, go Purdy, go. I need him to go off. You always say stick with your guys. Guys laugh out loud. Woo! This is as far as I've ever made it. Second round, baby. 1 win away. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that you're going down with your guy, man. I don't have nothing to say about that. Y'all focus on your guys. That's how you're supposed to be. I'm not going to talk you off the ledge unless it's crazy. I'm here to keep you from doing something crazy. But I'm here to support you to do what you want to do. That's what I do for fantasy good sports. I'm not out here trying to predict God and tell you who's going to have 15 carries and he's going to get dropped off. He's going to drop the ball off on the 5-yard line. Like, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is this guy can play. This guy is good. The team is targeting him this way. Go down with the ship. I'm just there. Says also AJ Brown or neighbors. Atlanta has been getting lit up by wide receivers. Facts. Bro, AJ Brown. I can never tell anybody to sit AJ Brown. I know neighbors is good, but I'm not here today to try to split those type of hairs to tell you to play neighbors of AJ Brown just because of garbage time. I can't do it. But I'm going to say AJ Brown. But either way, you're not going to go wrong. I just think AJ Brown got more upside, and that's a safer play and a boom guy. Aaron Holloway says, I got a feeling, too, that Patrick Taylor will get a touchdown at the red zone opportunities. Yes, sir, Aaron. Yes, sir. Jimmy's TV says Brian Robinson will come in as more of a flex play this week due to the tough matchup. Right. And wherever you want to put him for as RB1, RB2, flex play, flex 2, that's fine. To me, he's just a starter. I'm not going to sit him. If I've been starting him this far, I'm going to put him in. I like him getting the workload that he gets better than a lot of other guys. Even though it's a tough matchup. Sometimes you got to play guys against tough matchups when you have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels. The tough matchup don't really matter for Brian Robinson when the defense have to worry about Jaden Daniels running the ball out the back door. Chris says Buffalo or Atlanta. I'm going with Buffalo. All right, guys. I want y'all to let me know. I'm about to put my phone on the charger to finish this now. What about now? You still can't hear me? Okay. So it's not gonna let me put my charger in today. So guys, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna fire sell these questions real quick so I can get to them. If not, super chat. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna kind of pick the questions that I can get to because my phone is going dead. I got all this high level mic that I got. It burns the juice off my phone. So I appreciate you guys letting me know. All right. B Silver says start Jaden Daniels, Richardson, Rodgers, or Cooper Rush. I'm starting Jaden Daniels over Richardson, Rodgers, and Cooper Rush. Jimmy says Alexander Madison will lead the backfield today. He is a potential flex play. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Big Will says Patrick Taylor or Kendre Miller. I'm going with Patrick Taylor because I think he's going to have a smoother way to score touchdowns. Thank you, Sean. Yes, sir. Thank you for that, man. I hit yesterday. Calvin Austin. Isaiah Likely as a sleeper. Thank you, man. A lot of people don't like to give me those type of credits when I go into like the sleepers. But it is what it is. I think I'll be on a lot of other more times than y'all actually be realizing. Like that Aaron Rodgers call, that was gas. That and Devontae Adams and G-Dub call, that was gas. I think Aaron Rodgers had like maybe 2 decent games the whole season before I made that call. B Silver says start one flex half point PPR Kendre Miller, Rashad White, DK. I'm going with DK for the upside, but the safe play would be Rashad White. But I like DK for the upside. But Rashad White is the safe play. Vino, appreciate the super chat. He says full PPR Spears or Coker. You know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Thomas. Because of Tony Pollard playing, I like Spears. He's the safe play, but Coker, man, got some upside, bruh. Coker got some upside, so I'm gonna go with Coker. Now, if you want to be safe, look, TD, I just need to be safe. I don't need to lose it with this play. If you don't need to lose it with this play, Spears is the safe play, and that's easy. But Coker got some upside. He can break a long play. Know Xavier Leggett? Who y'all like today at tight end? I like Britton Strange at tight end today. I also like Isaiah Likely yesterday, but today it's a little bit more, the tight ends are a little bit more dry. I hate to say that. Pause. That sounds weird. Travis Looney with the super chat. $20. Appreciate it, bruh. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. Let me see. Cron Johnson. Appreciate you, bruh. Yes, sir. Appreciate the dollar super chat, man. Appreciate that, Quan. He said, good. Pause. Right. I said the tight ends are a little bit more drier today. Oh, buddy. Jimmy says Watson can be a boom bust flex playing after seeing 13 targets over the past 2 games. Facts. Quan says, I'm a new sub, bro. Appreciate it. He says, I love the content. Thank you, Quan. I'm glad to see you here, man. Jimmy says, I don't like Love today. Packers are a 14-point favorites versus the Saints that might not need to allow on the pass much for Monday. Right. So that's why we're hoping for abundance of like 2 touchdowns where they got control of the game, but it's just easy little throw and catch to the tight end. That's what I'm hoping for, man. But it just depends on who else you got. I'm not going to sit Jordan Love and go to no AR. I might sit Jordan Love and play Matthew Stafford. But I'm not. It just depends on who it is. Ice Cold Jones, what's up, bro? He says Metcalf or Bucky. I'm going with Bucky. Chris says I got Purdy in golf. So yeah, that's nothing wrong with. I like Purdy a little bit more than golf because of the weather. Yes, and Njoku's active and Pollard is active. Appreciate that, Sean. Ethan says, should I go with Jerome Ford or Patrick Taylor? In full PPR, I would tell you to go with Jerome Ford. And half-point PPR or standard, I would tell you to go with Patrick Taylor. The PPR arrow goes to Jerome Ford. Outside of full PPR, I would go with Patrick Taylor for touchdown upside. Zach Seaman says, I'm winning in my matchup right now by 11.5. I have Jordan Love, Saquon, James Cook, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas Jr., McBride, McMillan. He has Josh Allen, Jefferson, Chase Brown, Higgins, London Kittle. I think you got the better team. Now, he got Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen. That's a beast. But you got Amon-Ra, BTJ, James Cook, McBride. This is going to be a showdown. I like your team better. Zach says, do you like my chances to win? Yes, sir, I do. Robert says, Connor should eat today. Yes, he is a top 5 running back this week. Purdy, Rodgers, or AR? I would go with Aaron Rodgers over AR and Purdy. Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all guys hear me? We got a super chat from Rockout. He says 2 flex. Bigsby, Coleman, and Njoku. Okay, thank you, Sean. 2 flex. Bigsby, Coleman, and Njoku. I'm going with Njoku and Bigsby. I like Coleman, but it's volatile. Coker, if he plays, or pick up Washington, half PPR and half Strange at tight end. No, don't pick up Washington. Play Coker over Washington. And I like Strange. Pause. Well, no, I'm not pausing on that one. Let me stop. But yeah, Rock Out. Appreciate the super chat, bro. I would go with Bigsby and Njoku. Coleman got some boom, but Njoku and Bigsby I know they're gonna get some touches. Coker, I like Coker. No Washington. I like Coker over Washington. And I have Strange at tight end. Strange is a good tight end. Pause. Let me see. Okay, hold on, guys. Yep, okay, here we go. Martin Castillo says, TD, my RBs are all hurt. Who can I roll with? Need two. Bigsby, Madison, Craig Reynolds, Gibson, and Vaughn. I'm going with that's tough, man. I'm going with Bigsby and Madison. I'm going with Bigsby and Madison, man, but it's tough. Thomas on the rookie crew renews. Appreciate you, bruh. He's a final decision. He says, F it. Swap Coker in for McMillan, ride or die. Go with McMillan. I would say go with McMillan. He's the safest play, and Baker should be passing the ball a lot, trying to get the ball to Mike Evans. Maybe McMillan get the residuals over for that. So I think McMillan is safer than Coker, but I think Coker has a lot of upside. So it's a lot of we don't know out there when it comes to Coker. But McMillan, we know. We've seen him on a 3-game trend. Joel Lee says JSN or Devontae Smith or Garrett Wilson, PPR, pick one. I'm going with Garrett Wilson over Devontae Smith, but it's very close. Devontae Smith and Garrett Wilson is very close, but I'm going with Garrett Wilson over Devontae Smith and JSN. JSN is a rain game. That's the reason why I'm doing that with JSN. I'm telling people to sit JSN in this situation because of the rain. Love and Life says, people think I'm crazy, but the way they are overpaying mediocre players, I think they are laundering drug money. I get what you're saying, but you got to understand, man. Don't you know our moms and, well, I would say, I don't know how old you are, but I would say my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they paid, their houses cost them $20,000. You cannot buy a house for $20,000 that got running water and electricity in it. So what I'm trying to say is the value of a dollar goes up every single year. Bruh, we all gonna be millionaires, but guess what? We still gonna be broke because of it's gonna cost you $5 to buy a crayon. So the value of the dollar is going up. So when you see $100 million in 10 years, you'll be like, oh, $100 million? Oh, he ain't getting the $200 million? That's what we gonna be saying. So $5, $10, $20 million is not a lot of money anymore at that level. That's moved like a millionaire is in the middle class now. C.A. Jefferson says need two. Flex, Keenan Allen, Josh Downs, Tyrone Tracy, Crystal Watson, MVS. I'm going with Keenan Allen and Christian Watson. C.A. Jefferson. Rock out. He says, no, it wasn't separate. Pick two. Okay. Bigsby, Njoku, and Coker. I will go with Njoku and Coker. Thank you, bro. That helped me out. I wanted to say Coker early, but I didn't know if there was two different questions for two different teams. But yeah, Njoku and Coker. Njoku gonna get a lot of PPR touches, and Coker got some upside. Bigsby, man, is a second fiddle back. He might get a rushing touchdown, but you just gotta hope for that. ETN is the one that's gonna be catching a lot of passes, even though Bigsby can come in and score too. I'm starting Bigsby and ETN in one league, but I got to. Jimmy says, hold on, guys. Let me see what my battery looks like. Okay, I'm good. We good. We still good. Jimmy said, do you agree with Cam Newton that Lamar Jackson is beating Allen in every statistical except for team record and rushing touchdowns? Yes, but Josh Allen is still, to me, should be leading in the MVP candidate. Now, Lamar just beat the best defense. He put up 30 points on the best, probably the second or third best defense in the NFL right now. So that does matter. So to me, it's very, very close. I would say this is Josh Allen and this is Lamar. And each week they're gonna have to fight. If Josh Allen don't have at least 3 touchdowns and have a good game, then he gonna move down according to how he plays. So I agree with Lamar is still in the MVP candidate. And for stats, Lamar is better than Allen if you just want to look at the numbers. But I don't just look at the numbers. So I respect what Cam Newton. I don't really disagree with what Cam Newton is saying. But I am gonna give Josh Allen his respect. He is having a great year without a number 1 wide receiver. King Mick says Strange or Pitts. I'm going with Strange, but I think Pitts has more upside. Martin Castillo says I have Laporta and St. Brown. Should I still play both or start Strange for Laporta? No, you should play Laporta over Strange. And so you got St. Brown and Laporta. I think that's fine to play even in the bad weather game. Laporta just got too much athletic ability to have big plays, especially they need him since David Montgomery is out. Robert says I have Tyreek and A-Chain going against Bucky and McMillan. Should I start Tua or Baker? And I told you earlier I would start Baker. Chief Heat says I'm done with Pacheco. Quan says, how you like Mike Evans today, bruh? I like Mike Evans. I didn't want to draft him all year, so I didn't make a lot of content. I know somebody hit me with that type of comment. It's like, hey, man, you don't talk about Mike Evans because I didn't draft him. So I'm not going to be disingenuous. I learned that a long time ago. Guys, when you're making content, you got to focus. You can't be talking about everything because then you won't really be niched in anything. So sometimes there's certain players that I'm not going to really talk about because I don't draft them and I'm not pushing them. That way, if they do bad, I don't got nothing to do with that. If they do good, then that's on me, right? So that's how I look at it. I respect Mike Evans as a Hall of Fame player, but in fantasy, just because you're a Hall of Famer don't mean that I want you on my fantasy football team. Mr. To You, what's up, bro? He said Njoku, Kincaid, or Juwan Johnson. I would go with Njoku because Juwan Johnson got a terrible matchup with a rookie quarterback. Kincaid, I like Kincaid, but in full PPR, then Njoku gonna get 7 to 8 catches, and he's probably the only guy that can be trusted on this team for his wide receiver with DTR. So I would say Njoku is the safe play, but Kincaid got the most upside of all 3 of those guys. Appreciate it, bro. He says happy belated birthday. Now my birthday it was my birthday weekend, so I was celebrating it from Friday all the way up into Monday because ain't nothing going on Monday other than people getting ready for Christmas. So my birthday is actually on the 23rd, but this is my birthday weekend. Jordan Furtado, he says, I lost Monty last week. Have Pollard playing Pacheco because Pollard injury. As of last night, I guess Pollard playing Vito Saturday games. I feel you, bruh. I feel you. Jordan says, I don't like Njoku with DTR. I don't either. Failures of no options is Kyler or JD5. I'm going with JD5. Guys, I'm going down with the ship with JD5 today. JD5. Tobias says Walker or White. I'm going with White. Quan says Puka on. Yes, Puka. Puka over on targets. What you think? Yes, Puka going. Yes, Puka going to go for 100 yards today. Siobhan said you just never know who's going to get injured too when doing the draft. Facts. You don't. So you have to use that data of what's that already happened if somebody's been hurt before to use that going forward. Yankees says start A-Rod or Aaron Rodgers or AR-15. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers over AR. Golf today versus Golf today. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers over Golf. Weather is cold but not too windy. Okay, not too windy though. Okay. So that's the key, guys. Guys that's got Golf. If the wind ain't bad, don't worry about it. You could play Golf. You're just gonna have to make the decision to play Golf in bad weather. If you want to go down with that or not, that's gonna be on y'all. To me, it's all about the weather, so that's hard. I have to be looking at the weather like at 12:30, 12:45. So you got to pay attention to the weather. Quan says Stafford top 5. Yes, he's top 5 today. Still playing Hawkinson over Njoku this week? Yes, I would. I still would play Hawkinson over Njoku this week. I still would do it. It's Brody says, what up, bruh? What up, bruh? Siobhan said, I need Daniel to have a good game against my opponent. My opponent has him. Sorry, TD. I get it. Listen, I digress. I get it. We all need what we need, right? That's why I don't be saying a lot. We all need something. Quan says, who you like today, Kincaid or Bowers? I like Bowers. Jimmy said, do you think Stafford gets more fantasy points than Jaden Daniels this week? I won't be surprised. Yes. Look, Jimmy gonna find a way to ask me a question to get me to break it down. But yes, I do. I won't be surprised if Stafford outscores, but I won't be surprised if Jaden Daniels scores a top 12 quarterback. I mean, his legs, man, is very dangerous, and I like the way this offense flows with Jaden Daniels. He looks very calm in the pocket. Robert says, appreciate it, man. I've been stuck on it because he's kind of got me boxed in, and Tua might put up 3 touchdowns this week plus the stacks. Right. Facts. McLean says 4 PPR, 1 flex, Ford, Miller, Spears, McMillan, Reed. Thanks. I'm going with McMillan and 4 PPR over Ford. Quan says Bowers or Kincaid. I'm going with Bowers. Quan said TD in the chat. Who y'all like at tight end today? Thomas says Coca. Let's go, man. I've been sitting here for 30 minutes debating on him or McMillan. Sean says full PPR. Josh Downs, Amari Cooper, or Ramondre. I will go with Ramondre over Josh Downs and Amari Cooper. You agree still sitting Njoku over Hawkinson because I would still play Hawk good enough for where I would move him up over Njoku because of DTR. But Njoku still could be a top 12 tight end just off of the targets. Sean says full PPR. Josh Downs roll with Stevenson, Amari Cooper against the Pats. I would roll with Josh Downs over. I would go with Ramondre Stevenson. Pick up Josh Downs, roll with Stevenson or Amari Cooper. I will go with Ramondre Stevenson. All right, guys, I got to get ready to get out of here. So I'm gonna answer 3 more comments and then we're gonna get out of here. Vito says DK, Judy, or Ford. I'm going with DK for the boom over Ford. Martin Castillo says ETN or Kendre Miller. I'm going with ETN. Scott says Jennings on San Francisco or Shakir on Buffalo. I'm going with Jennings on San Francisco. I know Shakir, man, is elite, but Jennings is elite too. These are 2 really good wide receivers. And I like Jennings upside. And Sports Dog says TD100. I'm running with Kincaid as my tight end. I could pick up Strange. Would you lead Kincaid in? It depends on what you want. The safe play is Strange, but the upside play is Kincaid. Kincaid could give you 14, 15 points. Strange is gonna give you at least 8 or 9 points. Danny says, here's the dilemma. Golf in cold weather versus Bears or Sam Darnold in the rain versus Seattle. There you go. And I love the way you put it. I would go with golf in the cold weather over Sam Darnold in the rain. Robert says, I don't think the rain is going to be that serious today in Seattle. Really? Okay. I watched the news and it's light rain and should be stopped before the game starts. It might turn into turn on mid-game, but not heavy. Okay. Thank you for the information. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all guys be safe. Many blessings to you, man. Hopefully y'all can get this dub today. Go down with the ship. All right, guys. Y'all be safe. See y'all later. Peace.